Aaron Rodgers is fooling everyone except me. And this is going to be hilarious, guys. We've got major news to get to on Rodgers, Amari Cooper, J.C. Jackson. Big news to get to today, but I do want to talk about this Amari Cooper thing. We've got news from Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Adam Schefter originally reporting that the Dallas Cowboys plan on cutting Amari Cooper and saving $16 million against the cap. If they do cut Amari Cooper, they will have $6 million in dead money. Not a ton, but teams normally like to keep the dead money really low, and we recently got a report out of Ian Rappaport at the NFL Combine that says Dallas may look to trade Amari Cooper. What would a trade with Amari Cooper look like? I don't know. I'm guessing Dallas would have to eat some of the money. He's still signed for multiple years, although the cap hit gets easier and the dead money gets less and less. I think he's still signed for 3 more years on his contract. The Cowboys trying to get out from under this contract. They're having salary cap issues. They do have CeeDee Lamb. They're also trying to retain Michael Gallup, and that's where a lot of people speculate this money is going to. They're going to get rid of Amari Cooper. They're going to save around $16 million, whether they trade him for like a 3rd-round pick and eat some of the money, or they just straight up cut him, which would save the $16 million, and it'll create $6 million in dead money. They will then use the money that they saved from Amari Cooper to re-sign Michael Gallup, and then also try and re-sign Cedric Wilson, who a lot of teams apparently like. So that is the Cowboys situation. They will very likely be going into next year with CeeDee Lamb as their wide receiver number 1, and then with Michael Gallup, who they hope to re-sign on a multi-year deal as their wide receiver number 2, and then Cedric Wilson potentially as their wide receiver number 3 if they're also able to re-sign him. So Amari Cooper, still a good player, still in his prime, but the Cowboys at this point saying the cap situation, it's not worth it. We don't want to wait. We need to save money now, and we want to re-sign a younger receiver in Michael Gallup. Really interesting move by the Cowboys. I totally understand it. And again, it's not like Amari Cooper is this real injury-prone, bad player. Sure, he's had some injuries, but this is a good receiver. He's not, is he worth $22 million per year? No, I would say no. But he still is a good receiver, and whether he gets cut or a team trades for him, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with him. So Amari Cooper either being cut or being traded from the Dallas Cowboys. That is breaking. We've also got the big Aaron Rodgers news. And guys, I can't believe that I am going to be the one to get this right. I've been saying for weeks now, Aaron Rodgers will be demanding a trade. There's people out there saying he's, re-signing with Green Bay. They're talking about a contract extension. Guys, if Aaron Rodgers wanted to re-sign with the Packers, wouldn't he have already done it? Not just for the Packers' benefit, but for his benefit, so the Packers can work out a deal with Davante Adams, or at least franchise tag Davante Adams. If Aaron Rodgers was staying with Green Bay, there would have already been a deal worked out. It's already March 4th, guys. Aaron Rodgers is leaving Green Bay, and he's trolling them by acting like he wants to negotiate, things like that. He is pissed. He's ticked off about how bad their front office is, and I cannot believe I am the one that's going to get this right. And this has been reported for weeks now. Everyone knows Aaron Rodgers, I've said it, is demanding a trade. People got to get that through their heads. You're seeing at the Combine people saying, oh, he's staying. He's talking about an extension. He would have already signed an extension if he was staying with Green Bay so they could get an extension done for Davante Adams or get that worked out. So crazy breaking stuff. I am going to be right on the Aaron Rodgers stuff. I knew it. Got a little nervous there. I got a little nervous, but I just saw something, and I'm extremely confident Aaron Rodgers is going to be demanding a trade. So that's going to be a seismic tilt to the NFL offseason when that happens. We've also got some Combine news. I just got done making a video about the Combine. Garrett Wilson, if you guys don't know, Garrett Wilson is by far the number 1 overall receiver. It's not even close. He clocks in at a 4.38, so he just checks every single box. He clocks in at really 6 foot. People were saying he was 5'11". No, he was 5'11.6, so you round that up, he's 6 foot. The receiving class is, I could go on and on right now. I have 7 receivers with first-round grades. If you guys want to take a look at my top 7 overall receivers, I'm going to be doing a big video on all the receivers on my full receiver ranking, but my number 1 overall receiver is my current number 4 overall prospect. It is Garrett Wilson. My number 2 receiver is Drake London. He is my number 9 overall prospect. My number 3 receiver is David Bell. He is my number 13 overall prospect. My number 4 receiver is Chris Olave, who also had an unbelievably good workout, ran a 4.39 40, and looked so smooth in the gauntlet drill. He's my number 4 receiver. My number 5 receiver is George Pickens, who is kind of a wild card, who was injured at Georgia, but he's a mammoth 6'3.5" player who ran like a 4.42 or a 4.4 flat. It's crazy. My number 6 receiver is Jameson Williams, who unfortunately, got injured during the national championship, so he didn't participate in the 40. If he would have done a 40-yard dash, I think Jameson Williams would have gotten like a 4.17 or a 4.18. It's unbelievable how fast he is. And then the last player that I have as a first-round grade, the last receiver, is Alec Pierce, the white boy from Cincinnati, who ran a 4.33. An absolute tank, so athletic, crazy broad jump numbers. This class is just ridiculous, guys. The wide receiver class, this is the best wide receiver class I've seen in my life. I've got 7 guys right now currently in the first round, and you could even go, there's some people arguing for some other guys, like a Treylon Burks, right? Some players like that as first round picks as well. So very interesting stuff. We've got a Derek Carr update. Josh McDaniels says there's no doubt that Derek Carr will be the team starter in 2022. So we've seen this a lot with different teams where it's like they're, putting confidence in their quarterbacks. There's just not many options if you're a team like the Raiders. Derek Carr is a decent quarterback. Is he good enough to win you a Super Bowl? With the way the Vegas roster is currently constructed, I don't think there's any chance. But if you put everything around him, if he's in the perfect environment, he's a guy that could win, a Super Bowl. It's just so tough for a lot of these franchises where it's like you want to upgrade the position, but it's like if you try and upgrade it, you may end up with someone worse. So you stick with Derek Carr. That's why I completely applaud the Indianapolis Colts for trying to upgrade from Carson Wentz. It's like Carson Wentz is decent. He'll win you 10, 11 games. He'll throw some touchdowns. But everything has to be perfect for Carson Wentz to win a Super Bowl. Everything has to be perfect for Derek Carr to win a Super Bowl. This doesn't surprise me that they're sticking with Derek Carr. What are the other options? You have to trade for a quarterback. The Raiders need so much. You don't want to waste assets trading first-round picks, things like that. It's just so tough. Big news on Kenny Pickett as well from the Combine. USA Today reports Kenny Pickett hands would be the smallest hands of any first-round pick since 2003, and people are trying to troll and say, oh, yeah, he has small hands, so what? People are overreacting. No, guys. Kenny Pickett would have the smallest hands of any starting quarterback in the NFL currently. This is not a situation where, he would be in the bottom third or something or whatever. It's just minute. This is a big deal, and I already didn't like Kenny Pickett at all. But once I saw that measurement, I'm moving him down my board. I'm moving him down my board even more. That is historically bad in terms of hands. Very, very small. And again, I probably am moving him outside of my top 32. I didn't like him anyways. My NFL comp for him is Alex Smith. And you've got all these people and Joe Burrow tweeting out, small hands, whatever, trying to act like it's not a big deal. When you have the smallest hands of any, first-round quarterback since 2003, that's a bit of a big deal. Okay, that's a little ridiculous, right? Come on, we have to take that into account. People acting like it's not a big deal. It is kind of a big deal. Jimmy Garoppolo news. Ian Rappaport reporting Jimmy Garoppolo is a name to keep an eye on in the Steelers quarterback search. All of the options are in the mix for the Steelers. Mentioning free agent Mitch Trubisky. Could you imagine Mitch Trubisky being the Steelers starting quarterback? But honestly, guys, the thing with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think I have this tingly sense that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to the Commanders. Because Jimmy Garoppolo is kind of like that low-cost option where you could probably get him for like a second or third round pick. That's the exact type of move I see a team like Washington making. I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to the Commanders. The Steelers seem like such the obvious team to draft a Malik Willis type. I don't even know if they'd probably have to trade up at this point. They have pick number 20. Malik Willis, with how well he did at the Combine, will very likely be gone within the top 15 picks. So the Steelers would have to trade up for him, but I would expect the Steelers to stay out of the Jimmy G sweepstakes and a team like the Commanders to land Jimmy Garoppolo. Major stuff on J.C. Jackson that just broke. This is the number one cornerback, the number one DB in free agency, and apparently he will not be getting a franchise tag from the New England Patriots, meaning he will officially be a free agent. Really odd move. J.C. Jackson is a player that really just broke out this year. He seems like the perfect candidate to get the franchise tag and get another prove-it deal. Like you did it 1 year, you got to prove it again. If he hits the open market, he is going to hit the jackpot and get like a massive 4-year contract. J.C. Jackson, the top cornerback, looks like he's not getting the $17 million franchise tag from the New England Patriots. That's news that just broke a few minutes ago. Some Kirk Cousins crap. It says Kirk Cousins is unlikely to take a hometown discount in contract negotiation talks with the Vikings. Cousins is due $45 million in 2022 and is set to be a free agent at the end of the season. So if I'm a Vikings fan and I see this report, that immediately signals go look for a new quarterback, because I would not entertain the idea of giving Kirk Cousins at this point in his career $35 million in a 3 or a 4-year contract. You need to find a new quarterback. I know they drafted like Kellen Mond in the second round. I'm not sure how his progression is coming. From the stuff I heard last year, he was really raw, and he really wasn't even, they didn't even want him on the field last year. So I don't know about Kellen Mond. I know he was picked in like the second round. That's a pretty high investment. But yeah, Kirk Cousins saying he's not going to take a hometown discount. If you're the Vikings, pass him off to someone else. He's not your problem after this year. And that's not me dissing Kirk Cousins. That's me saying giving Kirk Cousins at this point in his career a 4-year contract worth an average of $35 or $40 million per year. That's just ridiculous, and it's not smart for, front officing. Being a general manager, you cannot give Kirk Cousins a 4-year contract at $35 million per year at this point in his career. He's still a decent quarterback, but if you're the Vikings, this report right here, this should signal it's time to find a new quarterback. Whether that's drafting Bailey Zappi late in this draft, who I love. Maybe you trade up for Carson Strong early in the second round. Do something to put yourself in the position where you're not, having to pay Kirk Cousins a multi-year contract worth like $35 or $40 million per year. Apparently, I didn't know Kirk Cousins is making $45 million this year. I had no clue his contract was that big. If you were to ask me how much I thought Kirk Cousins was making, I would probably say $30 million, $32 million. I know he signed a decently big contract, but that is crazy, guys, and that's going to do it for this Friday edition, this Friday update. We got the NFL Combine going. Free agency is happening in 12 days. It is a crazy time right now in the NFL. Make sure you do follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.